A couple of years ago, when not only the child that Tracy told us about, but another 11-year-old boy killed themselves after enduring years of homophobic taunting. A New York Times columnist Charles Blow wrote this on his blog. Children can't see their budding eyes through the long lens of wisdom. The wisdom that benefits from years past, hurdles overcome, strength summoned, resilience realized, selves discovered and accepted, hearts broken and mended, and love experienced in the fullest, true majesty that the word deserves. For children who are bullied, he writes, the weight of ridicule and ostracism can feel crushing, and without the possibility of reprieve. And in that dark and lonely place, desperate and confused, they can make horrible decisions that cannot be undone. End quote. But lest you think this bullying issue is just about gay kids or kids that are labeled gay by others, be sure and hear this. That sexual orientation is just one of the many issues kids are bullied about. You're too fat or you're too thin. You're too dark or you're too light. You're too smart or you're too dumb. There's too much red in your hair. Wonder what they'd say about my streak of white. You have too much interest in music or theater or creative arts and not enough interest in football. They're bullied for being themselves, just as God created them. What are we teaching our children? What are we teaching? That difference is bad. That diversity should be ridiculed, poked at, beaten up with words, bullied into conformity of a narrow persona of humanity. Friends, where have we gone wrong? That we've created an environment that says this type of attitude that leads to bullying is acceptable. I would be remiss if I did not also confess that often such words are preached, doctrine espoused, and rules enforced, and they come from religious leaders and churches. How did the last prayer for our children put it? Angry guns of the gospel. And I cannot stand idly by while these voices spew condemnation, hatred, and judgment in the name of my God. After all, bullies learn their attitudes and actions somewhere. I cannot remain silent when such adult voices serve as the launching pad and justification for what kids do to their peers. These voices do not speak for me, they do not speak for my faith, and they do not speak for the God I know. And I will not allow them to any longer. So I will stand up and proudly proclaim from this pulpit that in this place, all are welcome, all are celebrated just as they are. Kids, I was lucky. I was 25 and a practicing attorney when I realized I was different. 22 years ago this month, two things happened in the same week of that November that symbolized freedom and self-expression that changed my world. One, the Berlin Wall fell, liberating the East German people. And two, the wall around my identity secret fell, and I came out as a lesbian. I was 25. I had the benefit of maturity, education. I had a circle of friends. I had financial independence. But I did not have the support of my family or the church that I attended then. The only thing that I had was God. The God that somebody back in some Sunday school had taught me. God had created me as I was and loved me without condition and without measure. And that love saved me. And led me to a calling and ministry to bring that same love to all people. Friends, the hate must stop. The ugliness must stop. The bullying must stop. Now, we won't stop the bullying with further hate. We will only stop bullying when love and acceptance have the last word. How did Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. say it? Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. So I want you to hear it from me. You are. Even you old ones up here. You are loved. You are loved. The God who dreamed you up, created you, and stands by you still is crazy in love with you just like you are. Just think, if every kid could know that kind of love, then bullying would stop. So go stand up for that kind of love. You may be the only light, the only love a kid knows. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. So love who you are. You are a part of God's beautiful creation, and God did a good job with you. And make sure you treat others the same. Drive out hate with love. Drive out darkness with light. And as the choirs will encourage us in a moment, go carry your candle. Go light your world. Blessings, friend.